everybody, I hope you're having a lovely day, evening, night, wherever you are watching this video. I'm Lindsay, also known as Luna Lens, and welcome to my channel where we talk about art, creativity, our wellness journeys, and so much more. Today, I wanted to get into the topic of finances, which is a part of the wellness wheel. Hold on, that's rude. Sorry about that. My AC just decided to kick on, but I just went through my planner and listen, I just did an oracle reading last night for me, myself, and I, and also to send to some friends and stuff, just because I like to do a little like check-in, and it was very telling for like what I need to be focusing on and like where my priorities are and how to balance it. So the three things that I think are like really important in life to focus on, you know, to keep yourself on track, is to rest and rejuvenate. It is then also planning your life and then working on the details of the things that you have planned and to keep on track. And it's kind of like this endless cycle, right? Like we rest, we plan for a day, we do the things during our day, and then we rest again. And it's like, you know, that's kind of the general gist of things. And I don't know, it just kind of like helped me reground. So I definitely recommend, this is a random plug for this oracle deck, but it's this Moonology Manifestation deck by Yasmin Boland. I got it from Barnes & Noble. But yeah, this is just gonna be a fun little like uncut video. I will be posting the the Youngblood vlog this week as well. I posted my first ever music festival last week, that video, and then I'm going to Warped Tour this weekend, and there's a lot going on in my life, and like I knew that like this was gonna be a lot to spend my money on, but at the same time it's like you also have to spend your money on like things that you need, and occasionally it's okay to spend your money on yourself and invest in yourself and invest in the things that make you happy, and you know, like it'll come back to you tenfold. And so I feel like I'm in this mode of like I've broken down all of the numbers and everything, and like at the end of the day, like yes, I know that this money is going to come back to me tenfold, and you know, all will be well. I am crossing off the days in my planner just so I can keep track of things, and I believe that. I absolutely believe that. Because I'm also putting in the work to do it. Something that has been helping me, by the way, obviously we're talking about art and being a creative as well. Like I am a creative and I love to edit videos. I love to paint. I love to dance. I love to do all of those things. Those are the things that make me happy. Those are the things that help me thrive as a human being. And everything else I do for work is like, you know, still good to my nervous system. Like I work as a custom framer. It's pretty like chill. I'm just like working with my hands, and then I do house painting, and I do, you know, little things here and there for my family. I live on my family's farm, so it's like little things here and there, right? And keeping track of it all is really important for me to stay organized and to make sure that I am making enough money. And recently, like, this is my journey. This is my story, I guess, of my financial journey since after art school. And just kind of getting into that. So, basically, I graduated college about 2 years ago. I already had a job in my field. I worked as a paint party instructor, right? And I drew pet portraits, and it was a great time, and I loved it up until I started to do a lot of the events on my own. It became a little bit overwhelming, and then my car broke down, and it was just a whole thing, right? So I worked with them for about 2 years, then I had to quit, and I was already working at Michael's, so it was like a kind of a smooth transition into another job. And at that point I was also living back home. I've been living back home for a year now. I haven't had to spend money on rent, and yet somehow I still have barely saved any money. I actually owe money, and I don't listen. I feel like when it comes to finances, it really is just like a learn as you go thing, because in school we aren't taught these kinds of things, like how to keep track of it, what's important, what the fuck is a 401k, 401k, what the fuck is that? See, I don't even know what the fuck it's called. See, this is the issue. Like, legitimately, like, these are not things that we are taught. And also, I don't really think, yeah, because we're not taught it, then there's no emphasis on it, and then there's no, like, point to be made of, like, how important it is. Because I guess they just assume that your parents are meant to teach you that stuff, too. And then also, on top of that, being an artist, being a creative, like, trying to, like, just figure out how the fuck you're going to make it in one way or another and be discovered or like whatever. But at the end of the day, it's like you have to put in the work to do that and like find time and space in between those, in between like the time that you're actually working to make money hourly. You have to take the time in between to dedicate to your craft, which is why I like making videos. It is another way of documenting my life, another way of kind of helping myself grow as a human being, which is what I love. I love self-development and all of those things. But yeah, so I had that job. Now I work at Michael's and I live at home, and I'm still trying to figure out things financially. And something that I think has really been helping me, and a different perspective that has been helping me as well, is coming to it from like a little bit more of like a feminine space of nurturing the money instead of feeling like I have to like hustle and then like hide from the numbers because I'm scared of them, but then I also have to, but it's also something I should be really aware of. And then like sometimes I fall into the space where it's like, oh, nothing matters, like I have to spend money anyway, so I'm going to just blow my money on stupid shit. And then it's just like this whole cycle, right? It's like when you're afraid of the numbers in your bank account, which is, hey, real as fuck, it's like it just it's like you're neglecting your finances. That's legitimately what it is. It's like, imagine you neglecting a friendship. Yeah, it's not going to go so well if you neglect that thing. So when it comes to finances, you also have to nurture it. And I think that word nurture has been really helping me in having a different perspective in it and being more aware. So what I've been doing is I have this tiny little book. I got it from the dollar store. It literally was $1.25. Hey, guess what? It's not a dollar store anymore. It's a $1.25 store now. But either way, it's a very like thick book. I don't know how many pages, 180 sheets. And I actually use this for my daily journal. I write in it every morning because I'm reading the artist way, and that's a really important thing for my artist journey as well. But you do your morning pages, and then I also write down my ins and outs at the end of the day for each day. Like, what have I spent today and how much have I made today approximately, just so I can make sure that I am in the positives each day. And this past week and a half, I have definitely spent more than I've brought in because I went to a music festival and I was spending a little bit more recklessly, like, and whatever it is, right? So I wasn't as like conscious and aware of it. And also you have to eat food and you also have to put gas in your tank, right? So there's certain things, and then there's certain things that I paid for some Youngblood merch that maybe I shouldn't have spent money on. But I want to do a video because I do want to paint the shirt as well. That's a whole nother thing. But regardless, do an ins and outs journal of each day financially. It will definitely help you. It's definitely been helping me just to stay on top of it all, because instead of like ignoring it, which is like a lot of times what I've done, it's just like it helps me just stay on top of things. And I really like, my heart goes out to people who are having to pay rent right now in this economy, because the thing is that like I was at that point. I did have an apartment for some time and I did learn so much from that experience, but I think my mind was such in survival mode during that time. You guys, like, I was living paycheck to paycheck, like every penny counted. You know what I mean? Like, it really did. And I was keeping track of my finances during that time because I had to, but it was like, it was more in the sense of just like so much fear and anxiety surrounding it because I didn't have a credit card either during that time, thank God, honestly. But I just was like, it was so down to like every single penny because I only had a debit card and I really had to stay on top of it in that way, right? So I was like trying to find in between time outside of my paint party instructor job where I was, you know, painting houses and doing that kind of thing, trying to find literally anything and everything to be able to pay my fucking bills. And so again, like I understand having to pay rent and like keeping track of that, and I yeah, I understand it. And I also have been putting 500 a month into savings as well as like rent, but it's not really rent, it's just going into my savings for my future rent. So it is kind of rent, but not for now's rent. You know what I mean? So anyways, that's another thing too, is like, even if you can't spend 500, or if you can't save 500 a month, because I know that's a lot, like the thing is about saving money is that you also have to be making enough money to save. And I think that's a big thing in conversation that people don't talk about, because everyone is like, save your money, save your money, save your money, but it's like, okay, but like, how do I make enough money to be able to save it? Because I do have to pay for gas, I do have to pay for groceries, I do have to pay for, you know, a phone bill or whatever little expenses, right? And that's not actually a little expense. Like, it does add up over time. I also pay for my gym membership, which is a need for me because I need to be able to do my physical therapy and do it at a price that isn't what, you know, an actual physical therapist would charge me, but I need a space in order to do it. So that's my justification for having a gym membership. That's a little bit more on the high end scale, because it's not really on the high end scale. What's really on the high end scale is paying for shit like physical therapy. That shit is expensive. And so instead I just go to the gym, and 11:11 on my little clock for this recording. But anyways, yeah, so finding little ways to make it work. And if you are living at home, hey, you're not alone, and a lot of people are doing the same thing, and really take advantage of it. For the past year, this is the part of the story I didn't really get to. So after I moved back home, I've just been working at Michael's, right? And I will say, like, I don't even know what I've spent my money on, to be honest with you. I think like a lot of food out and about, because like it's just a habit that I've gotten into for certain reasons, and that I don't want to fully get into. But a big reason too is due to like my addictive personality is a big thing, is because like I used to smoke every day, I used to vape very often and that kind of thing. And then as soon as I came home, it was like a big relief of like, oh, I don't have to pay these massive bills anymore, to the point where I was like, okay, I'm gonna treat myself and like eat out more often and do those things and buy the clothes that I've been needing that actually fit me. That's valid, you know, like there's certain things that I needed to do, but there's definitely little things that I've been spending my money on that I really, you know, could have not. But it is what it is, and we're here now, okay? That's the thing. At the end of the day, you spent your money on the things that, like, maybe you had a little bit of a shopping addiction at a moment. Maybe you had a little bit of a fast food addiction for a moment, and and like, you guilt yourself for doing that, and it's like, nah, don't guilt yourself for doing it. That's another thing of being nurturing over it. Like, think of like having a kid as well, or having a friend that like spent a little bit more money than she should have, or whatever. Like, you're not gonna sit there and berate her for like doing that. You're gonna sit there and be like, hey girl, like, it's okay, like, just do better next time. Just learn from the experience, because the more that you guilt yourself for doing that, the more the cycle is going to continue, because you're just giving it negative energy, and it just snowballs into more negative shit and negative cycles. So definitely look at your money as a friend or as a child, anything like that. Just like trying to like be as nurturing to it as possible, being as aware of it as possible, and being grateful for it as well. Because it, at the end of the day, money is just energy, and it's a value exchange, and all of the things. And definitely learning these things as I go in life, and I want to get to a point where I like feel more financially stable, and like I feel like I have a better foundation for myself and everything. But yeah, I know that that's going to happen for me, because I am doing these steps to nurture it. And this is just the beginning of my journey. It's the begin if it's the beginning of your journey, girl, we're doing it together, and we're gonna do our fucking best, okay? Because sometimes things really are up to, you know, whatever the universe wants to give us, as far as like who wants to get a commission, who wants to and like, yes, that is up to other people to purchase, but it's also up to you to put yourself out there in order to get those purchases. You have to be the one to upload the things to your online shop to have people purchase them, right? Talking to myself right now, like I spent money on a website to post things for people to pay for and buy, and I have artwork that I could sell. You know what I haven't done? Post literally anything to my online shop. Not even one thing I have posted on to my online shop. Not even one thing. And it's a little embarrassing. But that's the thing, is like, if you have so much shame around it, the more and more it's gonna feel like a bigger issue than it really fucking is at the end of the day. Because you can learn from it. It's not like I spent the money on drugs. I spent the money on a online shop to post my art. Like, at least I tried to invest in myself. I didn't spend the money on like geek bars, you know, like, cause I don't fucking smoke nicotine anymore. That's another video I want to do as well, how to quit nicotine, because I was able to do it. Granted, I hadn't smoked nicotine in a year. Came around to these music festivals, I had a few cigarettes, but I will never go back to the vape because that shit makes me want to throw up anyways. That's a whole nother conversation. But anyways, but it does go into your finances as well, as like, what are you spending on alcohol? I know I've spent more than, again, I would like to have spent on fucking alcohol, like that, you know, but you only live once. As long as you're not excessively doing it and it's becoming like a genuine problem in your life, don't guilt yourself over it. And also don't guilt yourself if it is an addiction, because that's you know, that's not easy to go through in and of itself. Like the same thing with my fast food addiction. I don't want to guilt myself for eating poorly and like spending money on shit like that I shouldn't have been, but because it's just like, it's gonna just amplify it. But instead, if I'm aware of it and I'm like, okay, these are the steps that I need to take to make better decisions. Maybe if I am gonna go get fast food, get the $5 Lux box from Taco Bell instead of buying $20 worth of things at Taco Bell that you could have literally just got from the Lux box itself. Mind you, that's a hack I've just learned recently, that I feel a little bit like slow to. I'm like, damn, I could have literally done this ages ago, but I didn't. But you know what? We live and we learn and we develop and we slay and all of the things. So if you're a youngho like me, just fucking know that it will, you know, you just gotta be aware of your finances and it will get better, but you just have to have faith and nurture yourself and don't kill yourself. And especially in this fucking economy, girl, like, we're doing our best. So thank you for listening to my little ramble today. I really needed to get that off my chest. I literally was just staring at my fucking finances book for an hour. Not kidding, an hour. I was looking at this and my planner. So I just, you know, like, it's one of those things. I just needed to let out whatever energy I was feeling after that. So now I'm actually gonna go do some house painting and make some money and do the little things that I gotta do to keep myself afloat. So again, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, like, comment, follow my Instagram at pinkbat222. All of the love, and look out for my Youngblood vlog very, very soon. Mwah, bye. Stay swaggy. Live your best life. Mwah.